It's time for the Art Connection of East Texas. The Art Connection of East Texas is sponsored by Valorosa Designs and Gallery in Tyler's Bergfeld Center. Now let's welcome your host and co-host of the Art Connection of East Texas, Nita Fran Ward and Cindy Trimble.
Good morning. This is Art Connection of East Texas, and we are so happy to be here with you this morning. Thank you for tuning in, and good morning, Cindy.
Good morning. So lovely to be here. I'm delighted, and I'm looking at you ladies all sparkled and bejeweled.
Today. I was just thinking, our special guest this morning, and I will say she is special. It's Traci Brevard from Gold Leaf Gallery. From the very get-go, Traci has been on board with us with this program. She's one of our sponsors, and thank you for that, Traci.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Just looking at her while we were talking, and I thought, what a pretty lady. What a beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So we are having fun, aren't we, this morning, Cindy?
I woke up ready to have fun.
Always. Don't you always?
I always do, especially on Saturdays, though. I enjoy being here with you all.
Sure. Thank you. And we are here to talk about art. Let's kind of go over our community announcements. That's the first thing we do each time. We do two service community announcements promoting our Tyler Museum of Art. And I will talk about that. And Cindy, you go ahead and talk about your service announcement if you would like.
Well, I was very happy and delighted to find out at the Gallery Main Street here in Tyler, there is what's called the Landmarks exhibit, and it's an interpretation of the historic landmarks here in the Rose City. So do encourage everyone to go and take a look and see what that's all about. And also, too, coming up here on the 28th, we are very excited to have Jacques Rodrigue. He is the son of Georges Rodrigue, the famous Blue Dog painter. We had gone to the Longview Museum of Art, and we're delighted to meet him in person, of course, see the fantastic exhibit that's out there. And we're delighted to have Tiffany, the director of the Longview Museum, who will be joining us also.
Next week, she'll be here. And that show lasts through the 25th of June.
Yes, it
So
does.
anyone who has not been able to go over, they have a wonderful presentation hanging of the Georges Rodrigue art. The Blue Dog art.
The Blue Dog art. And so tell us what's going on here in Tyler.
At the Tyler Museum of Art. Last week, remember, we had Derek Frazier, who is the interpretations manager, and we had Kelsey Bailey, who is the education coordinator. And we talked about the Tyler Museum of Art, and we've kind of taken that on as something that we really want to promote each week. And one of the reasons we really want to talk about it this morning is do not forget parents that the summer art camps and grandparents, summer art camps, send your student, your child, your grandchild to one of these camps because they're really, really, really good. And you can contact Kelsey there at the museum, and the number is 903-595-1001. And you can talk to them, get information about it, run by the Tyler Museum of Art, and pick up a brochure. I have them at the gallery at Valorosa, so if you want to get a brochure to look over the different camps, because they go all the way through August.
They really did have a lot going on.
And all different ages. The ages start out very young. They have Lego and kinetic art starting out at the young ages and going all the way up through the adults. I know the August program is actually for adults. It's a designer's challenge. So I really encourage people to check them out and make that a happening for them this summer.
I want to go to Camp Lego. Even though I'm an adult, I want to go play. I'm still a child at heart.
I know you are. I know you are. We also want to thank, and we do this every week too, we want to thank our sponsors who've been with us. And Traci, again, thank you for Gold Leaf Gallery believing in us and being our sponsor from the very beginning. Our first show was March the 5th, and we've been doing this. This is our third month. Brad Bergfield Insurance, and we have Silver Lining Antiques, Carla Salih, and the Royal Passage Antiques, and we're so glad to have them in the Bergfield Center, and they are our new sponsors for May, so we're happy to have them.
Yes, and as always, we encourage everyone to come to the Bergfield Center and make it a journey, a destination. So many of your local businesses there, such a diverse group of owners and shops and ideas.
Yes.
So,
and we are hoping Shelba Johnson from Royal Passage is able to listen this morning, and Carla. So good morning to you gals. So, well, Tracy, my goodness, you've been around the world and back since I saw you.
I have.
Let's talk about your trip before we get started. You and your husband and your daughter.
No, she didn't go with us.
She didn't go.
No.
Okay, so you put her with someone that you trusted really well.
Oh, yes. Yes, she loves being with my mother.
I'm sure she does. Now, your mom lives here? Or
Yes.
She lives here. And so you two took off and you were gone how long? To Africa?
Yes, South Africa. It takes really a good 2 days to get there. So we had 4 full days of safari hunting, and then we had 4 full days in Cape Town, just kind of doing the tourist thing. It was lots of fun. And we went to the wineries and did all of the...
I hear it's beautiful.
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah.
If you could say that South Africa looks anywhere like the United States, what state would it look like?
Colorado.
Probably more like... Is it mountainous?
Very,
like
yes.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you actually went on a hunting trip and a tourist trip.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about you said that you actually used your gun and you actually was able to capture. Let's talk about that. So,
Well,
what did you get?
The PHs are wonderful, and they've got these great trackers.
Now,
and
what's
a PH is a professional hunter.
Okay.
So this is a person who basically asks you, well, what do you want to go get? What do you want to hunt? And then they know where to go to find the zebras or to find the blesbuck or the impalas or whatever you're after. So you kind of just follow them and
Sure. Was your husband successful?
very. Oh gosh, he loves it. He just absolutely loves it. That was our second time to
I
go.
see.
His third time to go.
I see. And you were able to get what?
I got a red hartebeest.
Now, what is that? I don't think I ever heard
How come
of
I knew
that.
you were going to ask me that question?
If you were to describe it in comparison to something that we know.
Right? Looks
let's
like,
see.
sounds like.
Kind of a small horse
Oh,
Really?
with beautiful horns that look like a heart. That's why it's called a hartebeest. And it's a kind of a red,
Hartebeest.
it's a red coat, beautiful. Yeah, kind of a black face.
Will you have it mounted?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I will tell you now. I'm married to a hunter. He is an archer. And he hunts with a bow. There is a massive expanse between being an art person and a hunter. So I'm really impressed with you, young woman. You have taken on your marriage well.
Absolutely. I'm so in love. It's wonderful.
Oh, that is great.
and as the saying goes, don't mess with Texas women.
It's true. We've got a gun somewhere.
Apparently, I'm a good
At least
shot.
one.
I didn't realize.
I have heard that women really are very good shots. And there is a young woman from Mosquero, where Bill is superintendent, who is right now a student at Fort Worth. No, I'm sorry, Dallas, at SMU, and she is the top-notch marksman. That's what she got her a scholarship to do was
Wow.
pistol shooting, and she is just a top-notch marksman.
She's
So-
a pistol.
She's
Yeah.
a pistol. We
Yeah,
need to
absolutely.
take lessons, Cindy, because Texas women got to be on the mark. You
Oh.
obviously already are.
I already am.
But Bill and I practice too, but we use a little 22 pistol. Okay, well, let's move on to art. So you and your sister own Gold Leaf Gallery. And because we like to do this kind of as just a conversation, I would like for you to talk about first what you would like to say about Gold Leaf, and then we will jump in there and make comments about it and ask you questions and delve a little deeper. So tell us about your life in the gallery.
Well, Debbie and I really work good together. As sisters, we wondered if we were going to kind of butt heads or if we were going to work good together. But,
Sure you
we
do.
absolutely have the best time, and we've never had a fight because really what Debbie does is different than what I do. Debbie is the custom framer. She has been custom framing since we were in high school. Yeah, we both went to
It's
Arts
a
Magnet in
passion
high
for
school.
her.
Yeah. And, it was interesting because in the beginning, when you turn something in when you're in high school or you're in college, you have to present it. And Debbie was always the one that people would go to cut their mats because she was, honestly, just so,
master at it.
yeah, she's so talented.
And we're going to have to take a break real quick because we've talked a lot about hunting. And now we're going to come back in a moment and we're going to talk about art. So we'll be right back.
All over East Texas, all in one place on the FM dial. Set a new button for 97.5 FM, KTBB.
Owning a piece of past times, a true antique reflecting quality of craftsmanship and beauty completes the decor of any home. You can find these treasures at 2 shops at Bergfeld Center. Silver Lining Antiques, a collection of shops, and Royal Passage Antiques and Gifts, both located in Bergfeld Center, offer the finest collection of antiques in East Texas. Both antique shops are full of special pieces thoughtfully displayed. Silver Lining Antiques and Royal Passage Antiques. Find them both in Tyler's Bergfeld Center.
Hello, this is Stephen Sluter from the Rose Spa in the Cascades. The month of April is known in the cancer community as Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Since I am a testicular cancer survivor and this subject hits close to home, we're doing a fundraiser to give to charity. During the month of April, all the proceeds from any hair treatment will be donated to the Lance Armstrong Live Strong Foundation. Join us in giving back to the cancer community by booking your hair treatment now.
Who is David Simpson? He's a constitutional conservative running for Texas Senate who believes government ought to be small and effective. Other than that, it ought to get out of the way. David Simpson is the only candidate who fought to make funding our public schools a priority. His opponent voted to take $5 billion from our school kids. That's why David Simpson has been endorsed by more than 20 school superintendents and former Lieutenant Governor Bill Ratliff. Now, here's what you need to know about David Simpson. He'll fight to stop illegal immigration. He'll strive to improve public education, and he won't be intimidated. He'll fight to keep the government out of your business. David Simpson believes in liberty, the Constitution, and he'll represent the people of East Texas with a fierce independence, because that's how he's always done it. On Tuesday, May 24th, vote for liberty. Vote for David Simpson.
Political ad paid for by David Simpson Campaign.
Wherever you see wood on your home, Bullard Siding can help you save money and make your home last longer.
The eaves, the overhangs, the sidewalls, the gables, any place you see paint or wood.
That's Clay Chambliss, owner of Bullard Siding.
The benefits of siding are pretty amazing. You don't have to fool with it anymore. Once you put it up, you're pretty well finished. It's going to eliminate the need for the painting or reduce any potential wood rot. If it's properly installed, the rain will never get to it.
Vinyl siding products for the exterior of your home have the look and feel of wood.
Vinyl siding is not just vinyl siding. Now, you've got a lot of different cedar shapes. You have stone-appearing products that are surrealistic. The cedar, you can put your hand on and think you're going to get a splinter. It's that realistic. Lifetime warranties, as far as the weatherability, is just tremendous compared to paint.
Let Bullard Siding be your home improvement resource. Bullard Siding, more than 70 years, serving Tyler and East Texas. Online at bullardsiding.com. Bullard Siding.
When selecting a new air conditioning and heating system, what is important to you? Hi, this is Dixie with the original Evans Air. Does it matter where your equipment is made? How about made in the USA? Would you like to have dual fuel options? Maybe have a system that runs on propane too? Or how about a solar-ready system? Equipment that you can install now and power from the sun, or add solar panels at a later date. Tell us what's important to you, and I bet you we can make it happen. All you need to remember is the original Evans Air, the name you know and trust. Call us at 903-561-9410. Follow us on Facebook at the original Evans Air, and visit our website to read what our customers have to say at evansair.net. So if you have an interest in solar-ready, dual fuel, or made in America, then give us a call. License number A10599E, the original Evans Air. 903-561-9410. That's 903-561-9410.
Glenn Beck, weekdays at 8. Set a new button for 97.5 FM, KTBB.
We're back with Art Connection of East Texas, and we're very happy this morning to have with us Traci Brevard of Gold Leaf Gallery. I want to make an announcement that on the 4th of June, which is the first show in June, we're going to, Valorosa is starting a program called the Art Connection of East Texas that is a completely different thing that in relating to membership for artists, and we're going to start having our first Artist of the Month, and we're going to announce it June the 4th on the show, and then their art will be up for that whole month, and we're going to have some great programs. We hope to have our first big art show in July, so we're really working toward that with Brian Stone and Kim Cobb and myself. And on that date, we have Jan Statman from Longview is going to be here as our artist. Beverly Abel will be here from the Gallery Main Street, and Brian Stone will be here from ACET. So that's going to be a good show on the 4th.
And thank you, Brian Stone, for all the work you've been doing behind the scenes and really keeping things moving. So thank you very much.
He does. He keeps us going, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He's so talented.
He is. He's a great artist. Okay, Traci. Now, you and your sister decided to go into business together, and like you said, sometimes you have this wonder in your mind is, are we going to be successful? Can we be supportive? But the key you just mentioned, and let's jump back to that, was that the two of you actually do very different things in the gallery. So let's pick up there.
Well, we're both artists. So it just really runs in our blood. Our mother's an artist, and our dad loves woodworking, and he's an engineer. So we've grown up around it. You know, Mom was an interior designer in Dallas, so it's just kind of natural for us. We both went to Arts Magnet High School, and Debbie took a liking to framing and started working. You know, after she went to the Art Institute of Dallas, she started working at Michaels, and the owner of Michaels took a liking to her integrity and her details, and would train her for some of the extra special things. So throughout the years, she continued to frame and continued to frame. Mom and Dad both moved to Tyler. Debbie and I both moved to Tyler, and Debbie was looking for a job and walked right into Gold Leaf Gallery, and the previous owner, Buster Barlow, once again said, well, you know, you're hired. And saw how wonderful she is. And after a couple of years, he said, you know, one day I'd like for you to own this place. And you know how God is. God has great plans.
Yes,
and I was here, and
He opens doors.
Yes, and I was getting laid off from a big sales job. And Debbie said to me, "Hey, what about you and I buying the Gold Leaf Gallery together?" And you know, it just kind of fell right into place.
You know, and I appreciate too. You're like, okay, art. I can sit there. I can draw you perfectly. I don't care too. You know, and really your art is in with people and sales, and we have that connection too, which is its own art form, but you've taken a different direction in that art arena.
Yeah, I always wondered what could I do with it, because I had the scholarship to go to TCU in art, but I thought, is that really what I want to do? I'm better with people. I'm better at marketing. I'm better at that kind of thing. So I ended up coming out of the art, but you know how God is. I ended up coming right back into it.
See?
And how perfect for me, because I can design, and I love to design, and I love art. So when people come to me and say, how do I frame this? What do I need to do? I know exactly.
Your skills just come out.
That's exactly for.
And
So
it's
for me,
color.
yeah.
And it's the right texture of the mat.
Yep.
And do we double mat? Do we triple mat? What is the frame that we use? Because you can kill a painting, or you can enhance a painting.
That's right.
With that frame.
That's right. And I'm very sensitive to people. I'm very sensitive to who they are. Yeah, and how they want to frame it, how they want to display it. So I really
and that makes
listen.
a difference. Are they traditional? Are they contemporary?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it goes into that whole room. It's not just about that painting, it's what's going on in the room.
Right. And you two, with your mom having that interior design background and moving you into that, because whether you are that or not, you still understand. And with Cindy being an interior designer, my history is that also. And so with that, we understand that everything is about the concepts of and the elements of design, principles and elements of design. So
I hear a song in the back of my head.
Do you?
Always.
You want to sing it?
No,
for
I'll
us?
not sing it. But it's about the elements of art.
If anyone wants to call in this morning, and we don't have many call-ins, but we sure do have a lot of comments. But the call-in number is 903-593-5822. You can call in and you can talk to Traci or either one of us, ask us questions.
And be sure to follow us on our Facebook page, and then also to our new website at ACET.net.
ACETnetwork.net.
There we go. So brand new.
ACETnetwork.net. ACET, Art Connection of East Texas, network.net. And it's a great website. It's really, really pretty, and it talks about what all we are doing, and we really want to be an asset to the artists of East Texas.
And we're still just beginning.
plan.
So
Yes.
the ball is in motion and rolling.
Absolutely.
It's
We are
exciting.
moving forward. Yes, it is. And we just really believe that every artist should have the opportunity to get their work out there, and if we can be a help in that, that's what we want to do.
Well, and I'm curious too, you say, it's exciting for you, and you jumped right on as a sponsor. From your perspective, why is this so important in the community?
Kind of in the past, really, Gold Leaf Gallery was kind of one of the only art galleries. I mean, we've been in business for a little over 40 years, and when we first bought the business, we were the only art gallery other than the Tyler Museum of Art here in Tyler. And I really try so hard to support the local people and the local artists because we need to. And I wish there were more places for them to do that. And so I was really excited when, of course, Main Street got going, and I want to support them as much as I can. And now, of course, we have Valarosa, which is wonderful because we need more places for our local artists to be able to display their work. There's not very many places. And I tell you what, I have people come in almost every day saying,
to show.
want to show me their things, and if I just could have more room, could I have more walls?
And it's all about that, isn't it? And that's why we have gone back. When at the gallery in New Mexico, I do a year contract. Here we are doing a 3-month because we have so much, and we're realizing that in order to give more opportunity, that we're going to have to rotate more. We're going to have to do this, and if that's just the plan that we have. We really rethought the whole process of how do we serve the artists the best. And I think rotating a lot's going to help.
Well, and that keeps it exciting, too. It's never the same, and
That's
always
true. That is
intriguing
true.
as to what you might find next as the next treasure.
That's right. And moving things around. So, okay, let's go back to your business. And it is a very good business. I've been in there, and we send people there.
Thank
And
you.
there are artists that come in and say, and they show us something, and we will say, really, we would prefer that you get this framed.
Yeah.
Some art pieces can stand alone. Some just really need to be framed. And so that's our partnership. We are going to make that a goal of ours, is to support your business the way you are supporting us.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate that. So, in a day, you are the one who meets and greets the people that come in the door, and you take the orders and you help them with their. I was looking on the wall. You have a tremendous display of opportunities for people to look at and say, okay, that's a frame. Let's look at that sample, and here's a sample. Tremendous opportunities there.
Well, I call myself the crazy
Choices.
frame lady because I just love all of my frames. And,
You would
better
use
than a
every
crazy
one
cat
of them.
lady.
there's kind of, there's like 4,000 different ensembles that I can put together. I mean,
Oh,
it's
my.
really, it's infinity. I really can. And the funny thing is that I can actually find all of those frames, which is crazy because when you come into the gallery, it's almost intimidating just how many choices there are in framing.
That's why you are so important to that person standing in front of them.
Yeah, because I can see them kind of look like, oh, I don't
Where do
think
I
I
go
can
from
do
here?
this. And I'm like,
Yes.
don't worry about it. Let me
I can
start
help
asking
you.
you some questions, and I can figure out. First thing I say is, what do you see? Do you see anything? Do you see
Yes.
gold? Do you see silver? Do you want to make this rustic? What do you want to do? And then
Exactly.
I can
Do you
just...
talk to them about where they're going to place it?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's so important. It's time for us to take a break, and we will be right back and finish our interview with Traci Brevard, Gold Leaf Gallery.
Your only local news radio, 97.5 KTBB FM.
You've waited months to bring it home? A beautiful painting that still takes your breath away, and you have just the right place in mind to hang it. All that's missing is a custom frame, that final detail that ties it all together. Trust your artwork to Gold Leaf Gallery. With an eye for detail and a heart for artists, Gold Leaf Gallery offers custom framing and personalized service. Gold Leaf Gallery in the French Quarter in Tyler. Framing by artists for artists. GoldLeafGallery.com.
We have all had plumbing problems at our house. We know how that feels.
That's Lori Townsend, Customer Service Manager at American Plumbing Company of Tyler.
Those of us in the office are not plumbers, but we all have plumbing, so we know how stressful that time can be. So we do what it takes to get a plumber to your home quickly.
Most of the time, calling the plumber is no fun. American Plumbing Company understands.
We know that no one plans on having a plumbing problem. We're not going to try to take advantage of you. We're going to do only what's necessary. We recognize that it's important to the customer to keep the costs down, and we're going to do everything we can to make that happen.
American Plumbing Company, serving all of East Texas for nearly 30 years. American Plumbing is fully insured and is an A+ accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. Repairs, installation, and 24-hour emergency service. American Plumbing Company. Online at apctyler.com. American Plumbing Company. License number M10861.
Lost your keys? Locked out of your car, home, or business? It's frustrating and can be dangerous at the wrong time of day or night. Call Locksmith Express. Call 7 days a week. Residential, business, auto, theft, lost keys, rekey. 903-312-0006. Response time is 30 minutes in most cases. 903-312-0006. Key replacement, lockouts, remote replacements on most cars, home and business rekeys, and keys made from most VIN numbers and high security auto keys. Locksmith Express. And if you're buying or building a home, call Locksmith Express to rekey and make sure you know who has the keys to your new home. 903-312-0006. Get more information at locksmithexpress.biz. That's locksmithexpress.biz. 903-312-0006. 903-312-0006. License number B12284. Locksmith Express.
Thanks for the memories.
At Schlitterbahn Water Park, the magic begins the moment we arrive.
Jump in, now we're living in the moment. Take a joyride on a water slide. How I wish this day would last forever. Hold on to every moment. We're going to Schlitterbahn. Hold on to every moment.
There are more ways to play and splash the day away together. Parking and tubes are free, and Schlitterbahn lets you bring a picnic. At the end of the day, we all have something special to hold on to.
Hold on to every moment, the hottest, coolest time. Hold on to every moment at Schlitterbahn.
Buy discounted tickets at Schlitterbahn.com.
Hi, John Sims inviting you to join me each Sunday morning on KTBB for In Focus. You'll hear from representatives in various areas of community service, all of them working to make the Tyler, Longview, East Texas area a better place for everyone. This week we'll sit down with LaJuan Hollis of Longview Habitat for Humanity for the latest on what LaJuan's agency is doing to build homes, communities, and hope for low to moderate income families. That's In Focus, Sunday mornings at 9:30 right here on your only local news radio, 97.5 FM KTBB and KTBB.com.
Search KTBB in the App Store. It's free for iPhone and Android thanks to Tyler Ford.
Which is great.
We are back. This is Art Connection of East Texas. I'm Nita Friend Ward, and we are happy that you stayed with us. So we hope you're having a good time listening to us talk about art, because that's what we talk about, art and the artist. And thank you, Traci, for being here this morning and making us happy ladies, because it's so good to sit here and just smile with you and have a nice conversation. Gold Leaf Gallery, give us the location.
We're at 4518 South Broadway. We're in the French Quarter, right next to Pier 1. Mm-hmm. We all know where Pier 1
Everybody
is.
knows where Pier 1 is.
Yeah.
Right. Cindy, have you had a good week?
I had a fantastic week. I have been so busy, I haven't even caught up with myself yet. So,
well, that's very good.
It's been wonderful. A lot of fun design projects,
yeah,
and
that is
keeps
fabulous.
moving along.
Yes, yeah. Traci, what is it that you think made you an artist? Talk about yourself and your art, from how it started. How young were you? When did you realize,
Gosh.
I love this?
Well, you love what you're good at. And I was pretty good at drawing horses and that kind of stuff. And, with my mother being an artist, every now and then she'd break out her paintbrushes and start doing stuff. So we kind of did what she was doing.
Absolutely.
She would sew clothes. And so it was always kind of a very creative environment that we grew up in.
That's the key right there, a creative environment.
Yeah. I mean, everything from cooking to just designs that she would do. And
Everything they do is creative.
Yeah. And then,
That's
of course,
how
my
they
dad
think.
is too. Dad would build furniture.
As an engineer, you were talking about your dad. Does he turn wood?
Yeah.
Is that what he does? He
Sure.
has a lathe and he turns the wood. Does he sell it?
No.
He just does
He's
it
more
for
of a
fun.
gift giver.
He's a gift giver.
Yeah.
Those are
He
nice
does
gifts,
it.
though.
They are.
are.
And Cindy, talk about that for yourself, because Cindy grew up around her dad, who is a glass artist.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he does the architectural lead glass at this point, and so just growing up, he started as a hobby when I was born, basically. I literally grew up in his studio, and to see that evolution of his art, or being 7, trying to figure out a title called Metaphorically Speaking, We All Have Holes in Our Heads. I mean, that was a big concept at an early age, but I've learned to grow in an abstract manner. But my mother also sewed, so I can remember making my own little doll clothes and just being in that creative environment. So,
And it absolutely is that creativity from the inside, and it has to come out. It's going to come out in some way. Is your daughter artistic?
She is.
She sings. You told me she sang.
Yeah. And everything is colored in rainbows. So.
my kind of gal.
She's 9. Well, it's going to be very interesting to watch her develop, isn't it? Because she is in a creative environment.
Yes.
You are continuing that, and you say she spends time with your mom. Is your mom a professional painter?
No, even though she could have been.
She didn't. She didn't. She just painted for an enjoyment, her own personal enjoyment.
Yeah. She grew up in Laguna Beach, California. So that's a very creative environment right there.
Lots of beautiful inspiration everywhere.
Yeah. So
isn't it interesting how the place does impact a person in an artistic way? I think a lot of times about New Mexico and the Santa Fe area and the Georgia O'Keeffe thing, and how she really exploded as an artist when she hit New Mexico and around Abiquiu. And it does impact, and it's important for your daughter, and I was very aware of that from my children, for them to be around creativity.
Well, even for myself, coming back to Tyler, my trees called me home because I have this writing within me. And as a child or growing up in high school, I have 2 books of poetry I wrote under my trees. So I'm home, in theory, to write my memoirs under my trees.
Wow,
And you will make it happen. And sometimes you just have to, there's a time and place for everything. You're in the place. Now what you're finding yourself is looking for the time, and it will happen.
Right. All in time.
Debbie's like that too. Debbie loves her trees.
Oh.
And she's, when you go to that place where you want to be creative, she sees herself sitting in a tree.
Oh, definitely.
Sitting
Gotta hug
in
a tree.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. It's interesting.
Well, they're very grounding for me. I guess I've spent so much time in airplanes and airports, like, get me as close to the earth and
I
part of it.
understand that. And I had a conversation with a woman the other day, and I think it just took me back. And she said, I climb up into the trees. I actually climb into the tree. And I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah, except the pine trees here are kind of tall to get into.
Well, and this was in a different area.
Of
It was
course.
not right here in East Texas, but it was very interesting to me that she expressed herself in that way, because she talked about that. That's when I become my most creative, is when I just get away. And I've always said artists have to be selfish with their time. And it's very hard for young mothers ever to do that, and they're sending their kids to school and they're getting them ready for clothes and all of that thing that we do as young mothers. And then many times that artistic ability doesn't start until they actually retire. How many people have we known who actually start their artistic journey when they retire from a full-time job?
Well, I feel like that too. Like I've seen my dad as his quote unquote late bloomer, as the evolution of the artist, and I feel like I'm kind of following that path of I'm just now starting to bloom a little bit.
Yeah, now that my dad is retired, he can really
spend the time.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he creates. And who knew? Well, really, I mean, he did a lot of things when we were kids, but not like now.
Right. And it's about a time, because an artist has to have time.
And I still go back to the Mayan cosmology of where time is no longer money. It's the shifting of the ages where time becomes art to bring back that beauty and creativity into life. So, shifting.
It is shifting.
Well, it's nice and calm this morning.
Isn't it wonderful to have some quiet time?
I think the trees are hugging us back.
Talk about your sister, because we couldn't pull her in this morning because of different things going on. But let's talk about her life too.
Well,
she's part of the business.
She is the business. I tell you what, she really is, because her attention to detail and her integrity really. She is such an artisan, and she's such a good craftsmanship is something that she just loves. Everything, all of her corners, all of her
bevels.
I mean, everything she does is really spot on, and she can see the littlest mistake and fix it. Things that most people don't even notice. So, if you want something done perfect, you have to come to see us. I tell you what.
Well, there you are. There you are.
And with a fine art piece, that's absolutely what you expect.
And you have to have that X-Acto knife has to be so sharp when she's cutting those mats, because in order to get that exactly right, those corners perfect, you just have to have that sharp tool. And that goes back to the artist having good tools for them and around, and talk about her space, her tables. I'm sure that they are spotless.
Spotless. That's one of her very first things she says to anybody is you make sure that your workstation is absolutely clean.
Yes, absolutely, because you can ruin a mat. From the time that a person comes in to you and brings you something, and you've actually chosen the mat sample, you've chosen the frame sample, you know all of that, and you have to order the mat and the frame. So then from the time that you take in that order till the time that it comes back in and you've handed over to her, she finishes it. What are you looking at in a return?
Well, it takes us about 3 weeks to have a picture ready because we are so busy. And, you know, Debbie can pump them out, too. She can pump about 8 pictures out a day. I've seen her because she's just really organized in her mind. She knows exactly what she's going to do next. We follow whether or not something's on back order. We're following where it is, shipment wise,
and
so that we can make sure.
A lot of it is is your supplier meeting your needs, because that's something you have no control over.
Yeah, there's nothing makes me madder than a discontinued frame after someone has chosen it.
I know. And you didn't know.
After your 4,000, you've inventory.
Right, out of all of these.
So you're looking at usually a 3 to 4 at the most
Sure.
turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, we can make things happen quickly if we need to. I mean, anytime anybody has a death in the family and they need a picture of their loved one,
goes to the top.
Yeah, we'll stop everything and get that.
And that's a good thing for people to know, because one of the things that I've loved to see when you go to a visitation is that beautiful picture of that person, because many times they're not, and as cremation has come along, you don't get to view the body, or some people, they just don't do that. And so to be able to look at how you knew them, that's important, and to have it well done.
And Debbie also does calligraphy, so she'll do really pretty presentation for a card or something on the table, invitations, etc.
When we come back, let's talk about that, because that is a service that y'all offer, and we need to talk about that. Okay, we're going to take a break and let Chris have his time.
Support the folks that support us. Search the advertiser directory at ktbb.com. ktbb.com. Hosted by Group M7.
As a family-owned business, the Bergfeld Insurance Agency values treasured heirlooms. The agency has been passed down through generations, so they understand the importance of ensuring family history. Trust the Bergfeld Agency to insure your collectible art and precious jewels. Homeowner policies may not cover your collection, so call today for a free quote. They're an independent agency offering customized policies from multiple carriers for home, auto, RV, and business. BergfeldAgency.com.
An emergency room is not a primary health care provider.
When you go to some of the new emergency rooms, they're billing at emergency room rates.
Licensed physician assistant Renee McCarty.
So if you go in with a sinus infection, you're going to get billed the same as if you went into a level 1 trauma center. They're probably not going to be able to tell you up front what the cost is going to be or whether or not your insurance is in or out of network.
Go to one of the new emergency rooms for routine care, and you'll wind up with a huge bill in the mail. At Lifetime Health Center, the fees are affordable, and you're in control of what you spend.
We can see you today. We will see you for a reasonable price. It's generally affordable for most working class people. My patients know exactly what their bill is going to be when they check out.
Primary family care, same-day appointments, fees that you can afford. Lifetime Health Center on the West Loop between Kinsey Drive and Old Jacksonville Highway. Online at lifetimehealthcenter.com. Lifetime Health Center.
Who is David Simpson? He's a constitutional conservative running for Texas Senate who believes government ought to be small and effective. Other than that, it ought to get out of the way. David Simpson is the only candidate who fought to make funding our public schools a priority. His opponent voted to take $5 billion from our school kids. That's why David Simpson has been endorsed by more than 20 school superintendents and former Lieutenant Governor Bill Ratliff. Now here's what you need to know about David Simpson. He'll fight to stop illegal immigration. He'll strive to improve public education, and he won't be intimidated. He'll fight to keep the government out of your business. David Simpson believes in liberty, the Constitution, and he'll represent the people of East Texas with a fierce independence, because that's how he's always done it. On Tuesday, May 24th, vote for liberty. Vote for David Simpson.
Political ad paid for by David Simpson Campaign.
Whether you're camping at Tyler State Park, getting your ride gassed up, or finding something sweet to eat, stop by State Park Exxon. State Park Exxon has all the fishing and camping supplies you need. Plus, they have 16 flavors of their homemade gelato Italian ice cream. And be sure to ask for State Park Exxon's world-famous fudge. State Park Exxon, it's an East Texas oasis on Highway 14 across from Tyler State Park.
They don't live on the bayou, but you might think so at Happy's Fish House on 5th Street, just down the road from Tyler Junior College. It all starts with an unbelievable breakfast, including 8 different big omelets and 3 pancakes. For lunch and dinner, there's jumbo fresh cooked Gulf shrimp and locally raised fresh catfish, including all you can eat from 4 until close on Wednesday. And you absolutely must check out the fried whitefish and Cajun chicken tenders. They're only $9.95 on Mondays. And pick one of their big lunch baskets. They are delicious. And how about a bucket of beer and a half dozen fresh Gulf oysters on the half shell for $20? Happy's Fish House is all about the food, including barbecue, smoked chicken, and ribs. It's fresh, home cooked, and the best in town. It's Happy's Fish House on 5th Street, east of Tyler Junior College.
Hey, Tyler, Longview, it's your friend Sean Hannity here. Join me weekday afternoons 2 to 5, right after Rush, on your only local news radio, 97.5 KTBB FM.
Frame.
Good morning. We're back. Art Connection of East Texas with me, Cindy Trimble, with Nita Fran, and we have Traci Brevard from the Art Gold Leaf Gallery. We've just been so excited talking through the commercials. So we just have a few more minutes before we're wrapping up the show. So where were we going in this next segment?
You were going to talk about calligraphy and the service that you offer. Do you actually will address?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Wedding invitations and talk about that.
Well, when previously in our conversation we were talking about Debbie working at Michael's, and like I told you, the owner of Michael's took a liking to Debbie and trained her in calligraphy. So Debbie can do all kinds of calligraphy, from the chancery to the Gothic stuff, and people come for Debbie to do Bibles or wedding invitations or place cards, that kind of thing. So that's nice.
But that, really handwriting itself is such a dying art. And with all of our texting and things, just even cursive is being taken out of schools, which helps with your creative process. So it's wonderful to know that still is existing. For myself, I tried to practice the art of Chinese character writing for a while. So that was interesting.
I saw something funny the other day that said that at one point calligraphy will be a code. Because our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids won't be able to read it.
That's sad.
What's scary to me is they can't read the Constitution. That's what's scary to me, because they can't read the very thing that makes them free. Okay, one of the things that you do that's very unusual and very, very creative for y'all to do as a business are the TV frames.
Yeah, we love doing that because it's really pretty. Nowadays, people are putting a big piece of black plastic up on their mantles, and how when it's turned off, it is ugly. So why not frame it?
Absolutely.
Seriously, make it look like it's part of your furniture set, and it looks great.
And can you choose the frame? You choose the frame, and then you build the frame to that specification. Whatever, and then you actually hang it. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's hung on. Yeah, it's hung on the TV. It's strapped onto the TV. So the TV, if the TV moves, the frame moves with it, and it's open in the back. So it's pretty, and like I said, it just kind of finishes up the room. So if you've got a Western look, then I can do a Western frame. Or if you've got a beautiful ornate gold motif, then gosh, I'm going to follow that.
Sure.
Yeah, and I go out to the house and I design with the people and hold the frames up. And there's something about
TV.
Yeah, and there's something about one particular frame that matches other things. It's funny what we match when we get out there, whether it's a lamp or a
it's true, all those details, and that's why I say it's not just about that TV. What's going on in the room?
Yeah,
and all of those details have that continuity together.
Because it can help make the room, and it turns that, like you said, that big ugly piece of plastic that's so dominant in the room almost into a piece of art. And all of a sudden you realize, if you're in the room a while, well, that's a TV, that's not a painting.
Or a mirror.
Or a mirror.
Yeah, we put mirrors in front, and it's beautiful. When the TV is turned off, you do not know there's a TV behind that mirror.
It's a mirror.
Yeah.
I think you did tell me about that. What kind of mirror is it? Is it something? It's a specialized piece of
Yeah, it's not
glass.
just a two-way glass.
Sure.
It is a dielectric glass, so it's kind of expensive. But when the actual piece of glass warms up, it is absolutely clear. Yeah. Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
The warmth from the TV will warm up the glass, and the image comes through, and actually it will protect your screen. If you think about it.
It looks really good. Or we can do the rolling art that goes up inside the TV frame, so that when you turn your television on, that piece of art rolls down nice and soft and hides up underneath that TV frame, and now you've got a piece of art.
Ooh.
Instead
of the black piece of plastic.
And I
like
didn't
it.
know that you had that capability. I had seen that.
Yeah.
Or I had seen the cabinets, and you probably have been able to sell those where the TV actually goes down behind the cabinet, the console, and then it's pulled up.
Television concealment. Gotta love it.
I will not have a TV in my great room. I just refuse to, because the TV I don't like TV.
Well, and we've all grown up thinking about how are we going to decorate our mantles when we get older. You grow up with this idea of your family photos and, the candlesticks and those kinds of things. And nowadays it's a television.
Yes, it is. That's exactly it.
I have a friend that frames his television with other televisions, so it's
okay.
I think he has 8.
8 televisions, so it's a wall of TV.
It's a wall of TVs.
Well, he's really informed, isn't he? I'm not sure
I think it's all football.
Oh, okay, there you go. It has to be sports if you're going to do that. Or hunting. I know my husband would love to see that.
The different things, and we were visiting someone this weekend. It was our son. We went up to Arkansas to graduation, and they had on all these programs. And Chris is telling me that it's time for a break. He's wanting me to continue to talk. I would like very much to say welcome to Art Connection of East Texas, and join us in a few minutes. Bye-bye.